To come up with some of the crazy imagery of this film, I really think Miyazaki might have been spirited away, if you get what I mean. Spirited Away was originally released in 2001. It was written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki. During her family's move to the suburbs, a sullen 10-year-old girl wanders into a world ruled by spirits, where humans are changed into beasts. Welcome back to the channel, my name's Peter and this is my movie review of Spirited Away. This was Miyazaki's 8th full-length feature film in what is pretty close to a perfect filmography. And this was Animation Masters Studio Ghibli's 12th film and their 7th collaboration with Miyazaki. I'm watching this as part of my IMDb Top 250 Movies of All Time project, and Spirited Away is number 29 on that list. And this is the 181st film I've seen on that 250. I often see people asking, what is your favourite Studio Ghibli film? And it's a difficult one to answer for myself. Because of all the Studio Ghibli films that I've seen personally are all so strong, it's quite difficult to pick them apart. Sometimes I might answer Grave of the Fireflies, sometimes Howl's Moving Castle, sometimes Princess Mononoke. But on this rewatch, probably my 4th viewing of this film, I can confidently say now that this is my absolute favourite Ghibli film. I've always found Spirited Away extremely evocative. When I was a kid, I often wrote stories about a hero that slipped through a portal into some kind of fantastical world and then spent the rest of the story trying to get home. And this is pretty much the entire plot of Spirited Away. What I found recently about how this film was written is pretty incredible. Miyazaki came up with a plot and general character outlines, but he doesn't use a script. He storyboards, and these boards essentially create the story as he goes. This film and all of Miyazaki's films are essentially written on the fly. I find that incredible because this film is so full of imagination, chock full of really great, memorable moments. It's difficult to understand that this is not being meticulously planned. All Studio Ghibli films look incredible. It's pretty much a given, but I think Spirited Away is right at the top of that list. The range of colours and styles and the diverse breadth of designs here is absolutely staggering. There are times where it feels like you're peeking directly into someone's imagination, and there is not one dull or familiar design here. Though having said that, there is some repeated use of creatures from previous Miyazaki films, most noticeably the playful and absolutely joyous little soot sprites that Chihiro meets in the engine room of the bathhouse. These creatures, which are called Susawatari or Wandering Soot, were first used in My Neighbour Totoro from 1988. Spirited Away's hand-drawn animation is just amazing. I love the way Ghibli mix up low and high detail illustrations, and as ever the motion from their animation is believable to the point that you often forget you're watching animation, even when what you're looking at is so fantastical. There are even a few sprinkles of CGI which integrate with the hand-drawn style. A really eye-catching run through some flowers and some bubbling water are 2 moments I spotted. And though the flower shots really do stand out, their integration with the old-school hand-drawn style is never jarring. I've never actually watched the original language version of Spirited Away, which I really should do at some point. But Ghibli take a lot of time and effort over their dubbing with great casts and edits so that the English language spoken by the characters matches the lip movements without altering the original intention of the dialogue. The whole cast is great here, especially Devay Chase as Chihiro. There's so much energy and life in this performance that you're immediately with Chihiro from the start of the film. I'll post the IMDb Top 250 Movies of All Time in the comments below. How many have you seen out of the top 250? And how many Studio Ghibli films have you seen, and which is your favourite? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this video, I'd very much appreciate you clicking on that subscribe button. The channel's getting closer and closer to that 200 subscription mark. And if you like this video, please like this video. Negatives of Spirited Away, well, I don't have many. My first is my most common issue with a lot of films these days. It probably doesn't need to be quite as long as it is. At just over 2 hours, it seems a little long for the fairly simple plot that it tells. The ending doesn't have quite the impact it maybe could have. Because Chihiro becomes almost comfortable in this magical land, and because her parents weren't presented as particularly sympathetic in that opening, we don't feel either too big a wrench that she leaves the world or too big an emotional punch at her return to her family. I'm not saying those emotions are not there in the end, because they absolutely are, but I think with a few little tweaks it could have been a bit more of an emotional gut punch. But honestly, this is reaching a little, because the ending that we've got it's perfectly fine. Spirited Away is just a magical film. It's brimming with imagination, unique design choices, and a general sense of awe and wonder. For For me, it's Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli's best work and totally deserves its high place on the IMDb Top 250 movies of all time. My score for Spirited Away is 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching.
Game over, man. It's game over.